Hey, how's it going? Um, got Brittany and Adriel, and we do have good news also that Samaj will be the first one to lead a group. You guys can now sign up to lead a group. Um, Pick any date and a topic in D2L. So I'll put that in. I'll open that up for you guys. So leading the group anytime in September or October. Um, there are, gosh, I feel like there's 12 dates, and you can pick from there. So we'll go into your social work 4202, and with assignments, pick a date and topic to lead your group. And so he leads on Friday. So we'll have this one due for you guys within the week, but pick a date and topic or week of Girls Circle to lead your group. And put it in there so you guys can pick that time and date and week, and then just get you ready for leading groups, because that's a definite big deal. I'm going to keep also the observation open for you guys that haven't turned it in yet, but observe a group and then place that in there. So I won't close it off now. So Elijah is here and can't see the live, just a purple screen. It is possible. It seems okay on my end. And again, remember, it's in-person class, so definitely come in to keep up. I did email you guys to remind you. I'll keep the observation open a little bit more. And for the third major assignment, I was mentioning the use of grants that we do with some of the folks. And this is a USDA grant that we're writing to get a horticulture therapy group on campus. So, and this was, we actually wrote the grant for about $600,000. So a large chunk of it goes to a greenhouse. About half goes to the university. 100,000 goes to buying the greenhouse. The other bit is for those of us who lead the group. And so we were talking about this as integrative and collaborative group. And so on your final paper that I've mentioned you could be working on now as you design your leading a group, it says to write up a grant that you're applying to. So I found this one on USA.gov. It was a capacity building grant, and we did apply for the full $500,000. We'll see if we get it by March, so you guys actually won't be in class anymore. But this was an example of one of the ones you can use for funding for the group that you leave. So this one says stress and anxiety are the most prevalent issues currently reported among college students. Meanwhile, 16% of Black population experience a mental health episode, with 12 to 50% having a mental health issue. CSU has observed a 60% increase in the number of students seeking intervention for depression and anxiety. And this was the group I'm proposing. Therapeutic horticulture is a calming activity for the purpose of healing through interaction with plants. Several studies have shown that TH, which is therapeutic horticulture, has a positive effect on college students' mental health, increasing self-awareness and psychological adjustment. Preliminary work at Central State University has suggested there's much potential for using therapeutic horticulture with students. We're writing this grant with Dr. Sonia Hunt, and some of you know her. This project seeks to implement therapeutic horticulture programs and research to develop this approach for CSU mental health professionals and assist students in dealing with trauma, depression, and anxiety. The research aspect of this project will compare the pre and post mental health of students who participate in therapeutic horticulture. So, this is a group for therapeutic horticulture. Specific plant characteristics which might be more therapeutic and any differences in individuals versus group intervention. This will assist the university in determining which programs to focus on and resources on to effectively reach the largest audience. So, I want to make sure I had a board member also coming to visit the class, so I want to make sure I don't miss her at 1:15. It is 1:15. The teaching aspect of this project, so we wrote in a budget for teaching also. It's developing a therapeutic horticulture certificate program. We do this through either social work, psychology, or agriculture. This will consist of developing 3 therapeutic horticulture courses, thus providing Central State University with a unique certificate program to draw in students and provide current students with additional credentials. Online class. So we had the board member just show up. So this is a grant we wrote for $500,000, as I mentioned, which is a lot, and it's hard to get some of these funded. And it kind of has like the breakdown of all who's in there. There's me, Dr. Carter, Dr. Nagel, Dr. Hunt, and Dr. Carlia Harris from University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then when you write a group proposal, just like a grant proposal, you're going to have your table of contents like the significance of the problem, opportunity, the project justification, impact on building and strengthening capacity, continuous plans, and then innovation. So let me go get the professor, the board member for you guys and be right back. She said she's out there at the elevators. So So then you see also the overall approach, proposed cooperative linkage, plan of operation and methodology, the timetable and evaluation plan, and then how we'll implement the groups through Dr. Sonia Hunt. So let me hold the door somehow. I guess it will have to be a chair. I'll come meet you at the elevator. So I'm here. I actually did take the wrong.
That, okay.
That's what I told you.
Okay.
And
So you teach online, I can see here.
I do.
What are you teaching?
So I'm teaching groups, and the students are here, and I was going through the grant that we had for therapeutic horticulture. So,
Okay.
And yeah, it's like Zoom chat and things of that nature. But
Okay.
because these are mostly juniors and seniors, so by the time they finish, they would do. This is what we just submitted fresh last week, and we're talking about during COVID and some of the stress that had come up, and the fact that therapeutic horticulture would be important with our students' mental health. I also think geothermal, knowing how hot these buildings get, is really good for our mental health, because you know how they've been talking about, even on NPR this morning, they mentioned air conditioning and like schools without. A lot of times I have the shirt like this because I have to go to my t-shirt. It's just hot. They do, but in fact, it's not. It's not geothermal. I'll tell you that much. So, but speaking to you about what we'd like to do with green stuff and having some students, usually these are smaller classes, like 5 to 9 when they get to the senior year. And they're learning how they first have to observe a group, then they have to lead a group, and then the final piece is they write up a group. And I was showing them how we just submitted this, and it's 90 some pages, but this is what you have to do for a USDA grant. That's how we have to have the logic model. You've got to have budget justification, the overall approach, some of the things you were mentioning on the phone the other day, and then some research involved. So we mentioned that we want to create. Have you met Dr. Sonia Hunt yet? She's across the street in our mental health counseling center.
The two guys just mentioned her to me.
Yes.
I have another agriculture student who's coming on, who's starting.
Really?
In October.
So it is. This is what
football, and he played with Princeton High School.
Oh, great!
And so his brother is a pro football player.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So they're taking him on the tour now.
Okay, good.
But his major is agriculture.
Okay, and so we're working with the agriculture program with this grant, and we called it therapeutic horticulture and how it can assist stress and anxiety. We were getting the details about HBCUs. It was a $500,000 grant, so we'll find out in March if we get this. And I know that you had mentioned maybe doing something of the same thing. With a grant, I don't know if it would be also USDA.
It's so much out there. What I really want to do first is to get the right people around the table and then create a plan.
Okay.
Let me show you what I've done so far.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Brayden was a part of this. He was on my team.
So this would be Excuse me.
This is the green plan to take a whole city. Green.
Whoa! And this is in Lincoln Heights.
Uh-huh.
My brother-in-law is a sheriff there
Yeah. Uh-huh.
because I think that they have
I think I met him. He was there when I was when Braden was.
Johnny Beetle was there.
I
He's
think he was. I think he was there.
Because
He's been
they-
there since 2017, 2016, when they went from having their own police force to having
just
county
the sheriff,
Uh-huh.
and that's when he did it
He came
because
on with the sheriff.
yes. So
Uh-huh.
Brad may have
Yeah.
introduced you to him then. I want to show this to my students. So this is Lincoln Heights. This is another proposal giving you ideas
Okay.
for your final projects. Yeah, it's live. No, this is good though because they need to see this interaction because
So you may tell them about it.
yes, please. This is amazing. So a whole
So I can
green,
go right here if they
a
can
green
see me.
city. Yeah, there it is. That's
All right.
the.
Hi,
and no-
everyone.
I want to introduce you to Mrs. Matthews. Am I saying it properly?
Trustee Linda Matthews.
Trustee Linda Matthews.
I'm a trustee here at Central State University, but professionally, I do sustainability green technology. Not only do I do it at an educational level, but I do it as a professional level too. I've been in business for more than 15 years. I've sat on the City of Cincinnati Sustainability Infrastructure Committee for the City of Cincinnati, a Board of Code for Kids, which is, dealing with coding and things like that. So I do a lot of things around the community. But also, in 2016, I went on the task of helping a historical African-American community become green and sustainable, using the different technologies that's on the market to bring it down to net zero. So that includes solar panels, it includes retrofitting out heating systems, grabbing water, making sure that the water infrastructure was well, buildings that are net zero with mixed use. So we have streetscapes. We rendered those designs to the community. We work with UC DAP architect. Mhm.
That
They
program.
actually won first place for the drawings.
Wow. Oh yeah,
Braden's
there's my
in
brother.
there.
So my brother teaches at DAP, and that's
Yeah.
how I met
Mhm.
Linda.
And so this is a project for a whole city. It has not been implemented to date. However, we did set the benchmarks so that we can take this plan and implement it pretty much anywhere in the United States. So it's very exciting. It took us a year to do it. It didn't take us 2 or 3 years. We were able to put all this together in 1 year.
It's like creating a sustainability group for the whole city, pretty much.
Yeah,
Because
so
I always
the plan. Mhm.
think of with groups what folks. How many?
33.3 acres, I think.
Okay.
It was might have been a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a village, and it's in the suburbs of the greater Cincinnati. It's been around since the 1800s. So with it, Lincoln Heights sits on a water aquifer that supplies water to like GE, aircraft, Smuckers, and many other have industrial water. So
The
you had engineers, you had for water engineers. So one of our water engineers was had 10 years experience as a water engineer for Procter & Gamble. We had Purdue University that came on board to put solar panels on every home in the village, but also create manufacturing so that those solar panels can be made right there in the community, creating those jobs. So we had a big plan. And
those are the oldest houses, huh?
these are some of the structures of the houses.
1865.
Yeah,
Wow.
1865. So this is very, very historical community. So these are some of the old structures. These are some of the newer structures that was put in. This is more like affordable housing. So we were going to put in some new structures because they're not net zero.
And then they've got. Do they make like either bourbon or Jack Daniels there, or is that a different, closer?
That's in the city of Cincinnati.
Okay. You smell it when you drive by.
Yeah,
75.
so that would be that's right there in the Roseline Carthage area. And then
Artist,
after
so-
that, it's Lockland, then
Okay.
Lincoln Heights.
Okay.
And then you'll go into Sharonville.
Okay. I think my brother-in-law does third shift as the sheriff there.
Oh,
which is,
okay.
I could never do third shift, I'll tell you that. So I see the redevelopment, and then if you guys, I wanted to finish up to show, that looks like an old building then too, right? Is that like
This
18?
building here was a structure that we took to show them how you can take an old building and you can retrofit it out so that it can be green and sustainable and still net zero.
Mhm.
So we were giving them some examples of how that looked in other buildings around the country that are similar to the ones that are there in Lincoln Heights.
On Lindy Avenue, is this
Mhm.
all of this on,
Right.
it looks, DAP does some good drawings, don't they?
Yeah, they did real good.
And green space, so they'd use, I think it's called CAD or something to draw these things. And then there are woods there, so you have like actual wood
Yes,
spaces.
so we
Okay.
we started out with the low hanging fruit and we took some green space, built an orchard in one where we wanted to start off by putting in perennials. So when we talk about food deserts and things like that, it's best to design your infrastructure with perennials, things that come back every year. Apple trees, pear trees, nuts, berries, things like
Blueberries.
that. Those all come back every year when you're trying to build from a food desert. Then within that infrastructure, you also have solar panels. Solar panel not only to light it up, but it rests and to light it up, but also to power the irrigation if you need to irrigate something. So you can put systems together that actually irrigate, and you don't have to worry about a water source. But also too, there's different things out here in the market where you can actually grab water from the air.
That's crazy.
Precipitation. So you grab that, everything around you is either vibrational or precipitation. So you grab that precipitation, bring it into what's called like a conductor, and then the next year, and it cleans up and filter the water, and you can have clean drinking water. They have it over in Africa and places like that.
Yeah, okay.
Where
nice
people
and
have
humid.
have a hard time with water sources.
Like sustainable water sources and yeah, I guess it would have to be humid, like above a certain amount of humidity to get the.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it can be anywhere because anywhere you go, even if it's dry, you still have moisture in the air.
Right.
So you just grab that machine. There's a machine that a gentleman made that grabs water out of the air and it creates water. Believe it or
Okay.
not. Yeah,
And
there's a lot of
then-
things out here on the market.
I see your long-term vision. Wasn't there an old Jewish center around here, or am I making that up? Like,
Well, that was the first project Brandon
was,
and I
okay.
worked on.
Okay.
So when we first began our quest to introduce sustainability and green technology to the city of Cincinnati, we started out at a church that used to be an old Jewish center, and it had been empty for many years. So a pastor brought it and then sought myself out, and I put together a team to go in and turn it green and sustainable. And so we went in and, did what's called an ASHRAE Level 1 report. ASHRAE Level 1 report is sort of like an overview of what you have now and what the possibilities are. And then once you do that, these are engineering reports. So we had engineers that came with us and did all that. Then after that, you have an ASHRAE number 2. ASHRAE number 2 is showing you all the plugs and all those things up, how much power you need how many solar panels you're going to need to power up the square footage. Do you want to do a blue roof? If you want to do a blue roof, this how much food we can generate on top of the roof. We can take that roof and also connect the downspouts, where the downspouts then not only will it water the vegetables on top of the roof, but it also comes down into a container that captures your water, and you can reuse that. And we were going to turn it into a campsite for educational purposes,
Okay.
and then put our food around it that's sustainable, that's perennial, so that way children can come out if they grab a food plant or something. All the plants are edible, as well as the food that's going around. So you can just walk out
Okay.
of your cabin and grab your salad.
That is nice. Brittany says we need that in downtown Flint. So have you ever been up to Flint, Michigan?
Yes, I
That's
heard about. We all know about Flint. I was just waiting for someone to call me. If you can get a number for me, I could definitely come there and help solve some problems.
That's true. Here's the solar farm too that I see
Uh-huh.
that looks like it would be maybe by the. Is that near GE somewhere, or where they would have?
This
a
is
park?
right across the street from GE
Okay.
Aircraft Engine.
Okay.
Matter of fact, GE Aircraft Engine actually sit on property that used to be a part of Lincoln Heights. So they did 75 that came up and kind of cut it through.
That's
but
right. They
On,
cut right through
yeah,
the middle.
on one side is
Mhm.
GE, and on the other side is Lincoln Heights.
Okay.
Yeah. hmm
It's
And there's
Speed
a-
Trap too, I think, because I got to take.
Yeah,
it once.
uh-huh.
And,
But what's so exciting about this city, this little village, is that with the water, it has, so the Mill Creek watershed starts all the way up, miles up the road, and then it comes out and it breaks off into different water aquifers. And that water aquifer just happened to come right through Lincoln Heights, but also underground of Lincoln Heights. And it comes all the way down under 75, and it goes all the way over to GE Aircraft. And once you get over by GE Aircraft, there's a spill over into the Mill Creek watershed, which runs all the way downtown. And it runs into the Ohio River. So Ohio's lucky. We're very lucky.
we are lucky
because we have a lot of water. We have a lot of water infrastructure.
And that canal used to go all the way up to Michigan, right?
Mhm.
Like I think maybe it still does. I don't know where the
Yeah.
exact.
You talking about the Mill Creek watershed?
Yeah.
It begins up. It begins up by Liberty Township,
Okay,
and then it breaks off from there, and it goes in different directions.
because you can see like a canal and it kind of follows
Mhm.
75.
Yes, right.
all the way up, which
Right.
is
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
I wanted to try to make sure to get you to meet either Nikita. Edison is our chair, and Dean Hobbs is our dean. If you
Okay.
have a second, if that's
Yeah, I have a second.
okay.
And then I have to get back to the tour.
I'm
But
sure.
I'm excited
yeah,
to
yeah,
meet everyone.
Yeah.
I hope in your quest to help our country become green, sustainable, and resilient, that you learn a lot and begin to apply those things, because this is your future. I'm an old lady.
She said she'll give Mayor or Mr. Mays your info. Brittany
Please
will.
do. Please do,
All right.
sweetheart.
Well,
And hopefully when we begin to do these things here on campus, you guys will be a part of my green.
and
See that?
yeah, we'll see you all soon. So have a good one, and we'll go meet the dean and Nikita and